This 29 states accused Meta of deliberately designing Facebook and Instagram to keep young users hooked, misleading families about safety measures and improperly collecting children's data. Meta denies wrongdoing, but today's settlement is a major concession. Meta is also agreeing to additional safeguards going forward, including limiting screen time overnight and during school hours, implementing tougher age checks, stronger safeguards against harmful content, and restrictions on features that fuel appearance and popularity pressure. California's Attorney General responded to the settlement today. Watch.
This case has been about protecting young people, our children, our future, online. The data is clear. More time on social media tends to be correlated with depression, anxiety, body image issues, susceptibility to addiction, and interference with daily life, including learning.
Meta released their own statement saying this, quote, "Ensuring teens have a safe and productive experience on our platforms is an absolute imperative for Meta. We want to get this right for parents and teens, and that's why we partnered with state attorneys general to set a new industry standard." Behind the settlement is hope that no parent will have to watch social media take a devastating toll on their child ever again.
Anna Lee was 18 years old. She was a rural Colorado farm girl. She loved her family, her God, her horses, and every four-legged creature she could haul into our farm.
Meta and others have built empires on exploitation, and they hide behind outdated laws while families like mine live with the heart-wrenching consequences.
What she could not survive was the hopelessness and the helplessness that was created and amplified by the design choices that Meta put in front of her.
Our children should have grown up. Instead, we are left to speak for them.
Just heartbreaking stories. Trey, I'm so grateful. We have the best legal eagle here with us today. Does this go far enough? Will this go far enough?
Well, we'll have to see what the settlement documents say. If it went to verdict, the lawyers would get rich. The jury can't make Meta change, but the settlement can. So we'll have to see. I mean, I can't stop laughing at Meta's statement that they just figured out this was detrimental and habituating for children. They've known it all along. So they settled because they were going to lose. A settlement, I would tell people, don't think of it like a plea bargain. It's actually better. The jury cannot make the social media titans change, but they can agree to change. Whether or not it's enough depends on the details of the settlement.
Sandra, as Trey points out, we saw in the million-plus documents produced by Meta that they did know, and in fact, horrifyingly, sort of calculated, notwithstanding knowing that they were still just deriving data and benefits. So are these safeguards, do you feel, does it go enough for their culpability?
We all know, as users of social media, it's built to addict you. It's built to get you hooked. It's built to get you to come back for more, to keep scrolling, to keep posting. So we know the dangers of this. Children do not, and they are subjected to this. And we as parents have a huge responsibility to monitor this. I feel that Trey sounds skeptical on the changes that will be implemented. I don't know how they do this. How do they ensure that somebody just doesn't say, I'm 18 years old? I don't know. They're going to do some sort of facial recognition. How effective is that? They're going to shut down between midnight and 6 a.m. There's a 2-hour daily limit, but a parent can lift that. There will be a lot of pressure on parents to lift that. I have an 11 and a 13-year-old. Every day, it's kind of like, you know, you have your own parental controls. You have your own rules in your own house. Kids will keep asking to push those limits. If parents lift those, they're back in the old world, right? There is going to be stronger content restrictions. I think it's really interesting, the less of a social comparison for these young girls. They're going to ban some of these, or all of them. I'm not really sure what's involved here. But the beauty filters, I don't know what we don't know yet. I don't know how big of a change this will be for kids online. But bottom line, it goes back to the parents. Parents have to know what their kids are doing. Parents have to look over their kids' shoulders. Parents have to be in control of what their kids are accessing online. Bottom line.
Ainsley, such a great point, and also that how impressionable children are and influenceable. And so while those protections are geared toward them, are they still going to have access to see the example set by older influencers who are using beauty apps and creating unrealistic expectations?
Right. You know, I'm not there yet because I have a 10-year-old, and we were talking earlier, I know your ages, and you just mentioned them, 11 and 13, just above my daughter's age. And we're about to go through this. Your 13-year-old, you're probably already going through it. They always want their iPads, but we don't have a phone or anything like that. So she's not on social media yet. But when she does get on social media, I want these companies, I want government involvement. I want these companies to promise us that they're going to put these limits on. Yes, it's up to the parent. I'm doing my best. We're all going to do our best when our daughters and our children get to that age. But we need their help, too, because children are dying. Those moms, those could be our stories one day, you know, God forbid. And I don't want that for any child. But I was asking some of our assistants, the younger 20-year-olds in our green room before this, and I said, Lexi, what did you experience when you were in high school? Because we didn't have any of this. And she said there was this one girl who was so popular in high school, and she would look at her followers, and she thought, gosh, that girl is so popular. She's so much more popular than me. Another girl in the green room, she said, I said, what about you? She said, I saw this girl who had so many likes to one of her pictures, and I never get that many likes, and I felt like I was such a loser. These are girls from beautiful families, just like, you know, the rest of us, and that's how they feel. That's how they felt. And I listened to your show before in the last hour, and you had an expert on that was saying our young children, they don't have the capacity to know when they've been on too long, to know that they're getting addicted. We know that. You know, we might get on Instagram for a little bit and then we're like, okay, I need to pay some bills. I need to go make dinner or whatever it is. I'm not on it constantly like our children are. They don't have the ability to know it's too much.
Yeah, it's such a great point that they crave boundaries without knowing why, obviously. They thrive when you put in place boundaries and responsibility. I'm 100 years old, but I was part of a dance team where we were not allowed to have social media, and this was sort of during the advent of it. And so I saw during those years the damage that it was doing to other friends in other areas. I saw the destruction happening online from a position of being unable to participate. So by the time that rule changed and I left that team, I didn't want to be a part of it, because I saw it, what had been modeled to me was that toxicity. And
how great was that they told you couldn't do it? So then you didn't have a choice. Like, I wish the government would just say you can't do it. And they did talk about today, before 13, you can't have social media. I wish that would be 15. I don't think you should be on social media until high school.
See, here's the thing, though. So when Sandra was talking about kids figuring out ways to get around this, I was thinking I would be that kid figuring out how to get around this.
Smiley Lisa.
Yeah, but when you were saying that, though, I was thinking to myself, okay, so even if the regulations aren't enough to protect kids, then what would be able to protect kids? And if nothing would be able to protect kids with the Meta's usage for children, then what was the point of these lawsuits to begin with? What I find interesting about this is you had California's Attorney General recently said that this would be Meta's big tobacco moment. And you go back to the lawsuits the tobacco makers faced in the 1990s, where, you know, they failed to be honest with the public. That was what was hanging over the heads of Meta as well here. And it produced, similarly, a financial payout, but also the regulation that we've been talking about as well. And you already look at some of the whistleblower information and documents that have surfaced before all this, right? Things like Instagram, you know, Meta's own research showing that Instagram made body image issues worse for 33% of teen girls. You go on to 13% of 13 to 15-year-olds face unwanted sexual advances in a single week. So obviously, there was a lot of things that they knew that, you know, weren't disclosed to the public. But I wonder, Trey, and you'd be the person to answer this question, does this open the floodgates for some of these AI companies? Or, you know, is this sort of a blueprint to use?
It could be. And if you think about it, how much tobacco is okay for you? None. We don't let kids marry, sign contracts, drive. We don't let kids do lots of things. Why would you let them decide or be able to do something we know is habituating and detrimental for them? So I would have a ban, but the challenge is...
You would just say no social media at all? Or
I'm not on it. Yeah. I am not on social media, and I feel sorry for young girls that are comparing themselves to Livy Dunn, who, by the way, is pretty cute without filters, but with a filter, it's not real. But look at the stats on young women. We don't allow it with tobacco. We don't allow it with alcohol. Why would we allow it with their self-image?
That's a good question.
Such crucial questions, and we, of course, will keep you posted on any and all developments.
Be sure to like and subscribe for all the Fox News latest on YouTube and catch full shows streaming now on Fox One.